Hello guys, good morning, good afternoon and good evening, and welcome back to Football Manager 2023. It's season 2 here in Sweden as the manager of IFK Gothenburg, or Göteborg as the Swedish would say. It's the start of season 2, like I've just said. We have made some big changes here in Sweden. There's quite a lot of signings to go through, and I think that's where we're going to start before we take on Helsingborgs in our first game. But we'll go through the signings, like I say. Now, there has been a lot. I have made quite a few signings. There's been a lot of outs. There's been a lot of ins as well. In terms of outs, we've made 1.4 million with the players who've gone, the most notable of which, in terms of finances, is Dejan Mitreski. Was considered the key player when we joined the club. Was the club captain. He's gone to Helsingborgs for £650,000. There's a couple of others as well, Sigvarsson. The rest of them are more sort of fringe players who didn't really feature for us last season, other than Lucas Ritter, who scored that hat-trick in our first game. But he's gone. He's now at Landskrona, the team who did unfortunately beat us at the back end of last season. Now, we have broken our own transfer record, which was Yusuf Tash. We've broken it twice in this window with two of the players that we've brought in. We've spent a total of 5.75 million. Now, we'll start off with the first one through the door, which was Borche Milisevski, central defender. We've brought him in from Schaffhausen, who I believe are a Swiss team. They are indeed. He's a Swiss player. He's got 3 caps for Switzerland. Central defender. He looks very, very good at central defence. His physicals are really, really good. He's quick. He can jump. He's got decent stamina, decent strength. Doesn't like big matches, which is his only downside, really, but he is consistent. He's considered resolute, and he's also considered a good player for most Premier League sides. It does also say that he has the potential to be a star, so he's 24-year-old, could possibly hit that potential. His value's already doubled over what we paid for him, though. So, looking forward to seeing Milisevski play. Alongside him, we do have another central defender, which was our original transfer fee record, and it was Marius Bjorkassen. Now, we did look at him briefly at the end of last season. Again, he's another one who's physically really, really good. Defensive attributes are great as well. Another one who is consistent, likes big matches, so hopefully that will help out Milisevski alongside him. Consistent, considered a leading player for most Allsvenskan division sides. We brought him in from Tromsø for 1.3 million. Again, value-wise, okay, but still only 23 and Norwegian. Owen Murakioli has been brought in from Le Mans. We paid, it's a total of 1 million. It's 900,000 so far, rising to 1 million. Coming from Le Mans FC. He is the new inside forward on the left-hand side. Now, unfortunately, he's not right-footed. In fact, we start developing that. But he's 25-year-old Frenchman. His physicals are absolutely outstanding. Pace, acceleration, agility are all great. He's even got the good attributes here for in his technicals for an inside forward. Long shots let him down. Everywhere else is pretty good. And he hasn't started great in the Swedish Cup. Of course, in Scandinavia, they do have a cup before the season starts, which we did get knocked out of, unfortunately. But yeah, hoping he can grow into the team. After that was Halvardsson. He's coming in on a free. This is one that I set up at the end of last season. He's more of a backup Swedish player coming from Skiljebo, who are the division below us. He, I believe, was the top scorer in that division last season. He's 23-year-old Swede, still got some potential to fill. Free transfer. He's got some value. He's a decent enough backup as an advanced forward. Again, he's not great, but he's not too bad. It does lack consistency, but he is considered to be a decent player for most Premiership sides. So, you know, a decent backup for us. Pini Abuksis has come in for £750,000 from Kiryat Shimona, who I believe are Israeli. They are indeed Israeli. 29-year-old Israeli central midfielder. He is going to be one of the Segundo Volantes for this season on attack. He's got some great attributes for that position. Just his marking lets him down. That's the only issue there. Loves big matches though. Consistent, good player for most Premiership sides. We've already, doubled his value again, which is fantastic. So, looking forward to what the Israeli can do. One thing I have done is I've signed a lot of foreigners. Bear in mind I've got to have 9 homegrown players in my match day squad. We've brought in a couple of loans from them lot up the road again. Alex Thornhill is the first one in. He is a 19-year-old English striker. Now, I forgot to do the loan to the end of the season again, so he's only here for 6 months. Hopefully I can reloan him. But as an advanced forward, he is, for a 19-year-old, he's fantastic. His attributes are really, really good. He can finish, he can dribble, first touch, pace, stamina. Mentally he's good as well. He's already bagged 4 goals for us in 4 games, which is really good. He did pick up an injury not long after he signed. He can still grow as well, so these, you can see that they are still improving. He's considered to be a star player for most Premiership sides, so excited to see what Alex can do in a Gothenburg shirt. Hopefully he can bag us loads of goals this season. Alongside that, we did bring in one of his mates in Dean Hickey. He is a central midfielder who we are training to be a Segundo Volante. If we just quickly have a look at his attributes for a Segundo Volante on attack, he's, again, outstanding. Marking is the one weak area, again, but these are more sort of forward-thinking players. He's, as a playmaker, how good is he as a playmaker? Again, Segundo Volante, I think that will suit him down to the ground. His finishing could do with some work on, but again, consistent star player for most Premiership sides. Fantastic signing. Victor Pino. Now, fullback was an area that we were lacking in last season, hence why Dejan Mitrevski has left the club. So we've brought in a Victor Pino. He's an Icelandic 21-year-old, still got lots of room to improve. New left-sided wing-back. Again, decent for the club that we're at. I would say pretty much an average player, though. It's the best of what we could do in this position, really. Finances and wage-wise, I didn't want to go too crazy. We did spend £425,000 on him from Osters, who, were a Swedish club anyway. Physicals are really good. Mentals are pretty decent as well. Passing is not great. Teamwork's not great. Composure's not great. So that's stuff for us to work on with him for Victor. On the other side, we brought in Mate Magyar, £250,000, rising to £300,000. Hungarian. He's the right back at the club for this season. He is really, again, average. Technically, he's pretty average. Physically and mentally, though, really, really good. Considered to be a good player as well. Consistent, likes big matches. He's got Swedish as a second nationality as well, so he is one of those homegrown players. So, Mate Magyar. So 2 new fullbacks there. Linus Winbo, next in, £400,000, is another central defender. This was me starting to try and fill some of the homegrown slots. He's very much a backup player, although he's not too bad. He's better than what we had at the club when we first got here, but he has got room to improve, according to my assistant. 23 years old. Like I say, this was homegrown backup. He's enjoys big matches though, but he is first division quality. So definitely be a backup. Nicholas Thorbjornsson was of the same ilk. He was another one who I brought in to be homegrown central midfielder, training to be as a Segundo Volante. But he's not too bad. He's actually of Premiership quality, according to our assistant. Consistent. So he may see some game time this season, depending on how injuries and suspensions go. So 5.75 million spent, guys. That is a lot of money, and that is the most that we've ever spent in a save. In this save, I beg your pardon, in any of the clubs that we've been to. And it hasn't really dented off. I've still got another $1 million to spend. The transfer window is closed now. I've still got a lot of wage budget to spend as well. I did sort of adjust some of this out. But we've still got £2 million in the bank. Things are going really good here at Gothenburg in terms of finances. And I'm quite looking forward to how the season's going to go. We have narrowed our odds to 34s, which is still not great. We have won titles from this sort of area before. I'm hoping we can do it again. Although, if we go off what happened in the Cup, we did, when we come up against one of the big boys in Djurgårdens, we did get hammered 3-0. And we drew 0-0 with Landskrona. Now, there is some gelling, going on still. There's a lot of new players come in. But we're going to go into today's game against Helsingborg, hoping for a good start here in Sweden. Hoping we can get off to a flyer. We really need to be getting these nations ticked off as quickly as possible. I think Sweden's number 14, if I want to say, out of 33. So we still do have a long way to go. So we're going to the game. Let's have a look at our first starting lineup of the season. It is Jan Ulrich still in goal. I'm debating whether or not Damsgaard is going to be better for us going forward. Ulrich, he's not had the greatest of starts to his life here in Sweden, has the Slovakian. So we'll see how it gets on. I'll tell you one thing I did quickly want to show you before we went through the lineup. Sorry guys, you know I like to do this. I like to go back and have a look at our former teams. And that is Beroe. And Beroe are struggling down in 13th place in the league. After the reigning champions. They're struggling. They really are struggling. And one of the reasons that I've noticed, I did have a quick look, is if we have a look at their transfer history, they've sold all of the good players that were at the squad. Lumnov's gone. Spazov's gone. Davids has gone and back up. Marvin Toms has gone. Ardeline, he was a decent backup. They've got rid of a lot of the players from the squad and they're just not replacing them with, he's not too bad, but they're down in 13th place. So that's one club that we've left and they've not really lived up to the state that we've left them in. I think there's been Beroe so far on this save, possibly Voluntari as well. Maybe the two clubs that have struggled. Voluntari, they had a poor season after we left, but they have bounced back to finish third the following season. So Beroe struggling. They're going to be in the relegation group this season. Anyway, defence-wise, it is going to be 4 new signings. It's going to be Magyar as the right back, alongside 2 central defenders of Bjorkassen and Milosevsky, with Pino at the left back. In terms of the midfield, again, there's 2 new players here. Panic retains his place, although he's not the greatest of performance as a defensive midfielder on defend. He's got the attributes to play there. He just he doesn't really do it for me. So maybe next transfer window we may look for a replacement for Panic. But alongside him, it is going to be a Kubsis, a Buxis even. I'm going to struggle with his name for a little while. I always see the K before the B, but he's going to start today alongside Hickey, who is going to learn that position at 21-year-old. He's got, he can quite easily learn that. Murakioli starts on the left-hand side. Venberg from last season, who is naturally a striker, but he's pretty decent on this right-hand side as an inside forward. He is the only other player who comes in from the original squad of when we took over. So there's 2 left. And then it's going to be Thornhill up top. Like I said, I'm hoping that he can bag us loads of goals. Just need to double check. I've got my 9 homegrown players. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I do. So it's basically, I'm just going to have to fill the bench with them. You also noticed I've renamed Ibrahimovic to the Young Lion. But let's go, guys. Let's go. Hopefully we can knock this result off against Helsingborgs. And we're underway in our first full season here in Sweden. We had a fantastic second half to last season, dragging the club from the bottom of the table all the way up to, I believe, 6th we finished in. As the first highlight of the game is for Helsingborgs, though, unfortunately. It's in the 12th minute there. Thankfully, the header has gone just over the bar. It is going to take us a little while for this team to gel together. Like I've just said there in the match preview, there's 2 players left in this starting 11 from when we took over the squad. It's probably going to take about a third of a season before these guys really start to gel together and they start performing at the top of the games. But second highlight of the game, 35th minute, it's Helsingborgs looking forward. Bjorkassen wins that header though. Venberg books this over the top towards Thornhill, who's in behind already. Can he finish? Alex Thornhill? No, he can't. Johansson hammers it clear. I think too many touches there for the young Englishman up top. But that's encouraging though. He has got in behind the defender with that pace of his. Hopefully he can continue to do that. As Magyar brings that down, Bjorkassen covers beautifully all the way back to Ulrich. Feeds Mitrevsky, Hickey into Venberg. Thornhill's gone again. Thornhill's got Murakioli ahead of him. Murakioli, can he finish? He can. Owen Murakioli gets his second goal of the season, first league goal of the season, to give us the 1-0 lead right on the stroke of half-time. We're in first half stoppage time, and it's a really well-worked goal. Venberg to Thornhill. Thornhill with a fantastic through ball to Murakioli. I thought he'd gone too wide here, but he has managed to squeak it inside that near post past the goalkeeper to give us that 1-0 lead at half-time. And it's been a decent start to the season, guys. I was expecting us to struggle a little bit with how many new players there are, but we've started off really, really well here. And hopefully we can continue to keep going well. Another couple of goals would be nice, because I just know that we're going to concede one. Although this is the opportunity to book this with the corner in towards Bjorkassen, and the header's gone, unfortunately for us, just over the bar. But those near post corners are still dangerous. We've got two big centre halves that we can aim for. Hickey looking for his Newcastle teammate in Thornhill, and now Thornhill has scored his third goal of the season, his first league goal of the season, and the two Englishmen combine really, really well there. Hickey with a fantastic ball forward. I believe Hickey was the one with the crazy passing, and that just, illustrates that. Thornhill's touch wrong-footed the goalkeeper, and it's an easy finish for the Englishman to give us the 2-0 lead. Right, 75 on the clock. Can we go and score another one and get us up nearer the top of the table on goal difference? But as it happens, it's Helsingborg's coming forward. Bjorkstrom's into the box, and I knew they were going to score one. I called it, didn't I? Anders Borgstrom gets his first goal of the season. With the finish, it's Johansson with the ball forward. Borgstrom, he's allowed to take this ball far too far. Ulrich, disappointed to be beaten at his near post there. A lot of power on the shot though. But Ulrich, he's not really doing it for me so far here in Sweden. But I said we were going to concede one as long as we don't concede another one. Helsingborgs are, they've grown into the game in the second half. And this is the danger, guys, if they pinch the ball here and go up the other end. But as it happens, it's Panic feeding Magyar on the right-hand side. Gets the ball across. It's deflected behind for a corner. The goalkeeper was scrabbling across his near post there. I think he's actually saved it. But can we do anything from this corner? It's going to be a Buxis to take it towards that near post again. And Bjorkassen, but he can't get there. Mirachioli is going to collect it. But thankfully, the highlights ended. We're into stoppage time at the end of the game. We have been the much, much better team. We have dominated Helsingborgs in this game. Thankfully, we've picked up the 2-1 win, but I did say that we were going to concede. Again, we're starting to look a little bit shaky at the back, and I don't know whether Ulrich is the issue. I'm going to have to monitor that through the season, and we might bring a Damsgaard back in. But a great start to the season, guys. A great start to Season 2 here in Sweden. We are off to a winning start, and Hickey has had a good game, which is great. It's exactly what we want to see. As soon as he gets more comfortable in this position, he's just going to be unbelievable for us in that position. So yeah, we're currently in 5th position, guys. Now, like I say, there is 30 games in Sweden, so we're going to be back after 10 to see who we're going to take on. I'm imagining around about here. If it falls on Djurgårdens or AIK, that would be good. Good to get off to a winning start, though. Great to get off to a winning start in front of our 15,000 strong home crowd. Guys, thank you very much, as always, for watching. Please remember to hit that subscribe button. If you're not already, hit the like button as well for me, guys. It does help out massively with YouTube algorithms and stuff like that. Comments also help massively, guys, and I enjoy hearing your feedback on the series. But yeah, guys, thank you very much for being here, and I will see you all in the next episode. Cheers, guys.